Mute yourself if you're not speaking. Okay. Yeah. So everyone is able to hear me. Okay. Great. Let me share my screen. Let me just give a brief introduction to DOM manipulation. Actually, today, you know what happened? The network, because of electricity, I guess, or maybe because of, cold and like this is, a kind of hill station kind of area. So that's why due to fog and all the yeah, thanks. So because of fog and all, the network is absolutely poor. Like it's poor, very poor. Especially, I don't know what happened to the network during the evening times today. It never happens, but today it happened that there was no network. Even I was not able to Google anything. The WhatsApp message I did send you, that WhatsApp message went after 2 minutes, I guess. The network was so poor. So in that situation, I thought that it won't be possible to take a class. It happened today only because I guess today there was a power cut and there was some Wi-Fi and all issues as well in public domain. So that is why no issues. So what I'll be doing, I'll be basically giving you an introduction to DOM manipulation. Then I can see that in the unofficial channels and all, you guys are posting some doubts because some part of JavaScript and not the front end development. It's front end only, but yeah, some kind of basic web development things have started. So that is why it's obvious that you guys will be getting certain doubts. No issues. First, let us like have a intro of DOM manipulation. So first of all, do you remember I had given you 2, 3 assignments of preparing a DOM tree? Okay, a document object model. I had given you certain assignments to prepare. Okay, so how were these assignments and why these assignments were there? Whatever you prepared, the entire model is called your document object model. Okay, so let me just show you. The entire thing is called your document object model. Okay, that is DOM. So first of all, in DOM, you have a kind of parent over here. Then the parent has certain childs over here. The child have their sub childs over here. Okay. So what you can do, if I want you to change, let me change the color. Yeah, if I want you all to change this DOM element, okay, I want you all to change this DOM element, what will you do? You will go to HTML, you will go to the HTML and you will directly change it. If I want to change a text, you will go to the HTML, you will change the text directly. If I want that, okay, I want to change the color of this particular DOM, then you will DOM, that means element. Suppose this is a paragraph tag. Okay, so I want you all to and inside the paragraph tag, let us take an example clearly. Okay, let us take an example clearly. Suppose it's a paragraph tag and inside the paragraph tag hello world is written. Okay, hello world is written. Suppose I want to change this text to hello guys. Okay, I want to change this world to guys. Okay, guys, I want to change this. So that means instead of hello world, I want hello guys. Okay, I want hello guys. Now what you can do, you can go directly to the HTML, you can change whatever you want to change inside the HTML. If I want the hello guys to appear in suppose red color, okay, red color instead of blue, I want this to appear in red color. How you can do it? You can directly go to the CSS thing and you can change it. This is simple, easy. But suppose I want to do this using JavaScript. Okay, I do not want to do it using HTML. I do not want to directly modify HTML. I want to modify the HTML, the document object model using JavaScript. So how I can do that? That can be done using DOM manipulation. So this is why DOM manipulation is important. Why now you'll ask a question. Now, if we can do something using HTML, why will I go to JavaScript? Because if the developer who has developed the entire application, that particular developer can only go to the source code and can change the HTML components. None other than the developer can do this. Okay, but you want that the user should interact with the HTML and things should happen. Suppose you go to a particular website where you click on certain button, and on clicking on certain button something appears, okay, a text appears or a text get changed. Okay, so suppose hello guys is written, you click on the button and hello Aradhna is written over here. So how will you do that? This is based on the client side interaction. On the interaction on the client side, the entire HTML is getting changed. The entire document object model is getting changed. So how to do that? This is done using JavaScript, because any interaction from the client side is basically on the basis of JavaScript, right? So this is what is DOM manipulation. So what is DOM manipulation? You are basically manipulating or changing, okay? Manipulating. Please understand my words if you are not able to understand my handwriting. Manipulating or changing. Mute yourself, whosoever is unmuted. Okay, the document object model or the HTML, wait, yeah, or the HTML CSS parts, okay, by JavaScript, okay, on the client side. Okay, so this is my definition of DOM. Okay, it's, you will not find this DOM manipulation definition anywhere. This is my definition of DOM manipulation. So this is what is DOM manipulation. Okay, great. Understood? What is DOM manipulation? Any doubts on what is basically DOM manipulation? Yes. Got it? Great. Now please tell me how many selectors were there inside CSS. Tell me in the chat section, tell me how many selectors were there inside CSS. 3. Exactly. Class selector, ID selector, or tag selectors. Okay. So 3 selectors are there. Over here also, if you are trying to manipulate any element, you have to select that element first. You have to grab that element from HTML, and then only you can manipulate that entire element. So how to basically grab an element? You have 3 ways to grab an element. Okay. Okay, 3 ways. First, you can grab an element by the tag. Second, you can grab an element by class. And third, you can grab an element by ID. Now, how these 3 are important? Because first of all, if you want to change all the paragraph tags inside a particular website, or all the H1 tags inside a particular website, or you want to change the color of all the buttons in a particular website, then you will go for tag selector. Okay. If you just want to target a specific group of certain elements having the same styling, okay, so you will go to the class selectors. Okay, a particular group of elements. Now ID, it's very specific. Only one element exists that is having this particular ID, and I want to modify this element. Okay, so this is how these selectors are also present inside DOM. Okay, selectors are also present inside DOM. They basically help you to select or grab a HTML element. Okay, element for manipulation, okay, manipulation in sense, you can manipulate the style, you can manipulate the content, you can add your logic, a lot of things can be done. Okay, we will see it later on, we'll see it. There is a whole new project in DOM manipulation. Okay, we'll see it. So first of all, these all things will be done. Now apart from that, so how will you do this? There are 3 kind of selectors. Okay, tag, ID, or class. So first of all, you can get element by ID. Okay, just a second, guys. Okay, so get element by ID you have. Then apart from that, you have your get elements. Okay, it's not get element, it get elements. I remember this. Yeah, get elements by class name. Okay, class name, and then you have the same thing, get elements by tag name. Okay, tag name. There is another thing which is used to basically get a grab on these all elements, that will replace the need of these three things, but it is not used a lot because it's a part of jQuery. That's query selector. Okay, so jQuery is now being replaced. It is getting outdated right now. It's not used a lot, but yeah, query selector is also used nowadays. Okay, so these are the things which we will be using a lot to basically grab a element. Okay, and then we'll be changing certain properties like in our HTML or class or styling or anything. So basically these are the elements we will be using, and here you have to understand the workflow, how to grab certain attribute of some property. Okay, so understood how you will be doing this? Understood? Yes, yes, great. Now what will be our workflow of the class? Let me make you guys understand. Tomorrow what I'll be doing, tomorrow I'll be covering the transitions and all. Okay, transitions and these all things I will be covering tomorrow. Okay, that's advanced CSS. I'll be covering advanced CSS tomorrow because people are asking when we will do the Zomato project. Day after tomorrow we will be doing our Zomato project. Okay, Zomato project. And then why I'm doing Zomato project day after tomorrow? Because you will be having Saturday and Sunday. Like Saturday there will be class, but since it's weekend and your most of your colleges will be off, so you will be having time to complete your assignment on Zomato project. Okay, so we will be doing a Zomato project on tomorrow. Yeah, day after tomorrow we'll be doing a Zomato project, and then on Saturday we will be completing half of our DOM manipulation, and on Monday we will be basically completing our DOM manipulation project as well. Okay, and then we will move to our backend part, Node.js, Express.js and all. Okay, got it? Workflow. I mean the class flow. Great. Now today I have given you the introduction to DOM manipulation. Please do tell me what doubts you have. Okay. Task management application is a DOM manipulation project. Okay. React is after Express, Node, and MongoDB. Okay, so it's a later part. Yeah, JavaScript basics is completed, obviously. Yeah. You do not have to know data structures in JavaScript for development purpose. What all JavaScript you know is more than enough for development. Okay. What we covered after advanced CSS, you will be basically covering your Zomato project. Like you will be doing your Zomato project assignment also. You'll learn Tailwind CSS after React because Tailwind CSS needs a React setup. Okay, so after React, you will learn Tailwind CSS, and then you'll do a project using Tailwind CSS. After this, what? After this, you will be, see, this is the workflow. After this, you will be learning advanced CSS. Then you will be doing a Zomato project. Then after that, you will be basically going to the DOM manipulation completion and then the task management project. That is a DOM manipulation project. Okay, got it. Yeah, please ask your doubts, guys. Ask your doubts. You had some doubts I saw in the, The program will take approximately 2.5 months. Okay, on a minimum basis, and 3 months on a maximum basis. Okay. So yeah. Okay, DOM is basically, DOM is a document object model. That is the entire structure of document or the model of document. And when you are trying to manipulate your HTML document model using document object model using JavaScript on the client side, that is called DOM manipulation. Okay. Got it? Please ask your doubts. You had some doubts on async await, right? Big and complicated layouts in sense. Right now, you haven't learned a lot of things. So probably you'll be facing issue when you'll go to API, that is book management API project. You will understand a lot on how to design APIs and how to grab some results. Okay. This is just the starting. Did you complete your assignment on fetching the data? Mute yourself if you are not asking any doubts. Yeah, right now you will be getting assignments. First of all, the Zomato project, you will be getting an assignment. I'll be doing half of the project you have to do. Apart from that, again, you will be having certain things like the DOM manipulation project. There you will be given one property to do. So right now you will be actually, yeah, weather application, it is easy to grab the weather data. Okay. You will be given an API and a key IS, and you have to grab the data, weather data. On browser, you can edit the HTML, like you want to edit it using the client side, or like on the browser, are you asking? Okay, on the browser, you can directly inspect it and go to the elements and change whatever you want to change. Though, like CSS is directly changeable, and other elements also you can directly go double click and change it. Okay, it's changeable. Just inspect it and go to the element. Normal function is basically a, without the syntactical difference, and secondly, normal function is not a part of ES version 6. Real life example, see, when you go to Google, you search for something. Okay, when you go to Netflix, okay, let us go to Netflix. When you go to Netflix, you search for certain movies. Okay, how is that movie uh, sent to you? Like, how is that request sent to you? Because that particular whatever you search, that is converted into a URL, into an endpoint, and that endpoint fetches certain results for you. Okay. It's not necessary that you will have to have a return keyword and arrow function. Depends on you. You can have, you cannot have. Great. What is asynchronous and how it will? Asynchronous, first of all, those tasks which basically get queued up in other line and do not have to make other tasks wait for them. They are basically, okay, I have sent a request. Now promise is made to me that, okay, my request will be fetched, my data will be fetched. But yeah, it's not sure that the promise will be resolved or rejected. But yeah, till the promise is resolved or rejected, I can't let the other task wait for me. Okay, so this is what is asynchronous. I have given a whole lecture on asynchronous. I uploaded it as well. So please go to that and check it out again. Every day I'm uploading. Okay, I'm uploading the videos. So go to the videos. Okay. Okay. Other doubts do you have? See, within 2-3 weeks, like within every 2 weeks, we will be having a doubt session and all, so that you guys can clear your doubts. Because every day it's hard to get doubts, okay? But in 2 weeks, it's obvious that you will be getting certain good bunch of doubts to ask. So that is why I'm doing this. But later you will be requiring almost uh, doubt sessions in 2-3 days. So yeah, I'll be taking doubt sessions separately from the class. Okay, the playlist link, let me search it. I have it. Yeah. API is after Node.js. Yeah. My God, such a big text. Ma'am, I have some basic projects using HTML and CSS, and I view the changes I make using live server and VS Code. But when I open them by clicking directly and opening them on Chrome, and there are some changes made like padding and margin, the size of some elements. Blah, blah, blah. Can you please? This is the possible reason for this is that the browser has its own default styling. So that is the reason why the styling changes, like certain extra padding and margin is applied. Okay, and you should always test your project front end on the browser, because if you just want to do it like similarly, you want to avoid everything, then I had told you put a star mark and right there, like put a curly brace and right there margin 0 and padding 0. Star means the browser, and when you write margin 0 and padding 0, that means the default margin and padding of the browser will be avoided. In the CSS file, you have to do this. I had told you before. So yeah, this is the thing which you can do, and then after that, whatever you do will be same on VS Code and on browser as well. Because every website is customized and personalized. Okay, so Bootstrap does not satisfy that. Bootstrap is like whole generic thing. Okay, it's like a generic thing, so you can't always use Bootstrap. You can use Bootstrap for some elements, but yeah, every website has its own style for all the elements, so you have to follow that. Box sizing property, sorry. There's nothing as box sizing property. You have division sizings, you have box model. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can use it. See, Bootstrap, it used a lot, but after using Bootstrap, you have to give your own personalized styling to the Bootstrap elements as well. You have to inspect and see that which class you want to change, which class you are targeting, and according to that, you will be changing. Okay. Oh, border box. It's just an imaginary demarcation between the padding and the margin. Okay. You have a see. What are you trying to say? I'm not able to understand very properly. I am supposing that you are talking about the border inside the box model. So, with reference to that, I had already explained you. It's an imaginary line. Okay, it's not actually present. What's actually present is your element, padding, margin. Okay. My mom is Okay, yeah. Great. Great. Ma'am, I feel writing code for Navbar and adding Bootstrap to it is that. Yeah, yeah, okay. You can use, but here for beginner level, we are dealing with MongoDB as the database. If you are using MySQL, then you will have to take care of your database. And trust me, the Zomato database will be a bigger one, so it will be hard for you to handle. Though you can use it. Okay. Any other doubts do you have? Okay, great, great, great. Okay, then if you don't have any doubts, then tomorrow we will be having an important lecture on advanced CSS. After that, I'll be also giving you your Zomato assignment day after tomorrow. So yeah, see you all tomorrow then. Bye bye. Take care. Good night. Have your dinner. Bye. Bye.